In this episode, we tell stories of the relationship between humans and nature. Our first story explores individual expression through a living art form that has spanned continents and generations. Take a look.
Though bonsai, or tree in a pot, first appeared in China more than 1,000 years ago, the Japanese refined the practice into a highly formalized art. Bonsai master Ben Oki is curator of the bonsai collection at the Huntington Botanical Gardens in San Marino.
I was 8 years old. My grandmother took me to carnival. I saw the bonsai in a display, and one of them very impressed me. Pomegranate hanging down a small tree and a big pomegranate hanging down in a tree. That's the reason I started interested in the bonsai.
Oki moved to California and met the man some call the father of modern bonsai.
Then in 1958, I find a bonsai master, Mr. Janaka. That's where I started bonsai. And without Mr. Janaka, I don't have any bonsai for myself.
Oki studied with Naka for years. In the 1970s, Oki began traveling with Naka, teaching alongside him. The American Bonsai Society recognizes both Naka's and Oki's contributions to advancing the art, giving awards in their names. Oki's honors his skill as a teacher and the way he encouraged each student to develop their own style. Ted Matson is vice president of the Golden State Bonsai Federation, an umbrella organization for the state's many local bonsai clubs. Matson says trees don't become bonsai simply with time spent in a shallow container.
One of the things that makes bonsai unique is this combination of artistry and horticultural science. And a good bonsai has to have elements of both.
Bonsaists go to club meetings and classes to learn techniques and receive guidance from a sensei or teacher.
Bonsai is a very subjective art form, and part of the challenge is different people will see, even off of a single trunk line, see a wide range of variations as to how the finished tree can be expressed. But that's also what makes it fun too, is that there is all this room for individual expression to come in, even though we're working with some very codified and basic rules. What the objective of bonsai is, it's really to replicate what we see in nature, not to make an exact copy, but to replicate the elements that evoke the feelings, that when we look at a bonsai that is maybe 15 inches tall, we get the same feeling that we can get in looking at that representative tree maybe 50 feet tall.
While designing sets the stage for bonsai, it's training that transforms the raw material into art. Wiring gets branches to grow in a desired direction. Wire remains on the tree for about 6 months before it's clipped away. Grafting is a way for bonsaists to add branches or change a bonsai's foliage.
You develop this relationship with your trees based on your daily care, watering, paying attention to how they grow, how they decline, how they get strong, all the things that go into, day-to-day life for your tree.
Every day you have to keep watching, keep water. Water is very important.
Bonsai need frequent watering because shallow pots limit the amount of soil, moisture, and nutrients available to the tree. So even one day without water can stress some species. However, there's more to bonsai maintenance than a daily drink. Even when bonsaists succeed in presenting a tree's optimum aesthetic value, Matson says bonsai in the U.S. are less likely to be seen as art pieces than they would be in Europe and Japan.
Bonsai becomes an art the minute that you take a piece of raw material and you begin pursuing the more idealized form within that material. The minute that you cut the first branch, I think it starts that piece of material on its path toward an art piece.
But it's not just bonsai's skill and talent that people are paying for when they buy bonsai. Availability of plant material and where a tree comes from play roles. Some may be imported from Japan or collected from the wild, where a tree might have had hundreds of years to develop the character of age. A large part of the value repays the investment of time that someone else has put into a tree. And then there's the bonsai's pot. It not only has the practical function of containing the miniature tree, but also contributes to its overall aesthetic quality.
Pots by itself, some pots maybe a couple $100 too. Cause small pots maybe $15, $20. But bonsai again take time to grow too. That's the reason maybe expensive. Huh? Yeah. To be the good masterpiece, take training maybe 20, 30 years to be the good masterpiece.
Ben Oki has been part of the culture of bonsai long enough to see bonsai go from backyard hobby to marketplace commodity.
Bonsai have politics too.
They do.
Yeah, yeah. Not much in Southern California, but if I go sometime other state, sometimes money talk, people buy good bonsai with money, then show off something like that.
Matson says for him, the reward of bonsai is not so much in possessing things of beauty, but in the process of creating them. It's a process he says can be frustrating for some.
It's a natural thing for Westerners to kind of jump in and want to impose their will on trees. But for me personally, I found that when I was able to give myself over to the process again, let myself live with the tree and draw the bonsai that was in a piece of material out, my experience just transformed and it became much more rewarding, and the results that I produced became much better too.
Matson says bonsai can be a lifelong commitment and more.
Quite likely, if you do everything to keep that tree healthy and happy, it will outlive you.
Many bonsai that have outlived their owners have been donated to the Huntington, where Oki says they can trust their trees will be looked after properly. It's also a place where the public can enjoy them, learn about Japanese art and culture, and even find inspiration.